by any objective analysis, you've done very well. Now, if it's true, as they sometimes teach in art history classes, that we go to art to learn about the world, but more importantly, we go to art to learn about ourselves. If you subscribe to that, and perhaps even if you don't, what can people learn about themselves from your art?
Well, that's something which I think is more for an individual to take. You know, what I do is a bit of an abstraction on that level. It's a bit of a blank slate in terms of what you can draw from it. In the same way, poetry can be interpreted in a multitude of ways. The same poem might be taken up by one person and have a completely different meaning than what it would have for a different person, and that's the beauty of it. And I think that's probably a little bit true of what I've been able to do musically. So, but having said that, I think again, it just, hopefully it sets an example that there is a way to remember who you are, that you don't have to settle necessarily for being what someone else or some group of people want you to be. And just being an individual, it goes a long way towards getting you to the idea of aspiring to art, I think.
I agree with that. And we're going to come back to some of your experiences and what experiences you've had in a moment. But as you were speaking, in the heydays, when you had jet plane travel and pink hotel suites, did you think in those terms of, I'm trying to remember who I am?
Well, I think part of what made it easy for me to reject some of the trappings that go along with that success, the things that are perhaps less important or less noble about commercial success, was the fact that we were a group of people, and still are, who probably did not, on paper at least, belong in the same group together. You know, you had Stevie Nicks, who was way over here in terms of being sort of this, you know, a magical, witchy presence. You had Mick Fleetwood, who was just kind of a madman. And you had me on the other side, who was sort of this, you know, more cerebral, again, esoteric kind of presence. Christine McVie was somewhere in the middle. But, you know, all of these people really did not share a similar sensibility about the world or about music necessarily, but it was the synergy that we had when we came together that made something greater than the sum of the parts.